What if you could actually get a sneak peek into your future health? Well, for almost half of all adults, your blood pressure numbers are kind of like that crystal ball. And America's top heart experts just dropped their brand new 2025 guidelines. We're going to break down the crucial updates that could honestly change everything. So let's dive right in. So, why is this a big deal? Why should you care? Well, look at this number, 46.7%. That's how many adults in the US have high blood pressure. I mean, think about that. That is nearly 1 out of every 2 people. This isn't some far-off issue. It's a huge health challenge that touches all of us, our friends, our family, and maybe even you. Okay, so with that many people affected, the big question is, what's the latest expert advice on how to protect ourselves? Let's get into the new playbook, and we'll start with the fundamentals. All right, first things first, Section 1, understanding your blood pressure. I mean, before we can talk about what to do, we gotta be crystal clear on what those numbers actually mean, right? Okay, the easiest way to think about this is like the plumbing in your house. That top number, the systolic pressure, that's the pressure when your heart is actively pumping, like when the water pump kicks on. And the bottom number, the diastolic pressure, that's the pressure in the pipes when your heart is resting between beats. Both of them are super important. So here's where the rubber meets the road. This table shows you exactly how the experts break it down. Normal is pretty clear. That's the goal, less than 120/80. Elevated is like a yellow light, a heads up. Then you get into hypertension stage 1 and stage 2, and that's where your risk really starts to go up. And here's a super important detail. Notice that little word or for stage 1 and 2. That means if just one of those numbers, top or bottom, is in the high range, you're in that category. Okay, so now we know what the numbers mean. Let's move on to Section 2, your prevention and treatment playbook. The guidelines really boil this down to 2 main strategies, lifestyle changes and, if you need it, medication. And this is maybe the most important point they make. Lifestyle comes first. It is not optional. Look, it's the foundation for everybody, no matter what your numbers are. Medication is absolutely a powerful tool, but it's something that gets added on top based on your specific numbers and your overall risk. So, what does lifestyle actually mean here? Well, we're talking about some really powerful, proven stuff. Things like keeping a healthy weight, eating a heart-healthy diet like the DASH diet, cutting back on salt, getting more potassium, things like bananas and spinach, getting regular exercise, limiting alcohol, and finding ways to manage stress. Seriously, every single one of these can make a huge difference. And you can start on any of them, like right now. So when do the doctors start talking about medication? Well, for stage 1, it kind of depends. If you already have heart disease or diabetes or kidney issues, or your doctor calculates you have a high risk of a heart attack, then yeah, medication is recommended. But for stage 2, that's 140/90 or higher, the guidance is really straightforward. Medication is recommended for pretty much everyone, right alongside all those lifestyle changes we just talked about. All right, Section 3, this is the exciting part, the latest 2025 updates. So what's actually new here? Let's dig into the big changes that are really going to shift how we think about blood pressure. First up, and this one is a real game changer, there's a much stronger link now being made between blood pressure and your brain health. Just listen to this. The new guidelines say, in adults with hypertension, a goal of less than 130 is recommended to prevent mild cognitive impairment and dementia. Let that sink in for a second. Controlling your blood pressure isn't just about your heart anymore. It is now officially a key strategy to protect your brain from cognitive decline and dementia. I mean, that just takes this whole conversation to a completely different level. Okay, the next big update puts a brand new, sharper focus on something really important, managing high blood pressure during pregnancy. This has been an area that's needed some clearer guidance for a while. So now, for pregnant individuals who already have chronic hypertension, the recommendation is to use medication to get their blood pressure below 140/90. And why? To prevent serious health issues for both mom and baby. This is a huge step forward for maternal and infant health, providing a really clear, proactive goal. And the last big update is for the doctors themselves. They're getting a better risk calculator. It's moving from an older model to something new called the PREVENT equations. Basically, it's a smarter tool that looks at all sorts of things, your blood pressure, cholesterol, even kidney function, to better predict your 10-year risk of a heart attack or stroke. The bottom line for you, it just means more accurate, more personalized advice from your doctor. Okay, wow, that was a lot of info. So let's wrap this up with Section 4, the top take-home messages. I'm going to boil it all down to the 3 biggest things you absolutely need to remember from all of this. Takeaway number one is simple. The goal is less than 130/80. For most adults, that is the magic number. Everything we've talked about, from diet to medication, is all about getting you to that target and keeping you there. Number two, lifestyle is foundational. I can't say this enough. It is the absolute non-negotiable starting point for everyone. Medication is an add-on, it's not a substitute for those healthy habits. And finally, takeaway number three, know your numbers and know your risk. You just can't manage what you don't measure, right? So checking your blood pressure regularly and then having a real informed talk with your doctor. That's the key. That's how you figure out the absolute best plan for you. At the end of the day, these new guidelines are really just a roadmap. Your blood pressure, it tells a story about your future health. And with everything we've just covered, you're now in the driver's seat. You get to help write the next chapter. So what's it going to be?